kind of only 4 go. It's always a good motivator. I want to thank the Warren County Sports Hall of Fame, congratulate the fellow inductees, and a big shout out to my much better half, Liz, who traveled with me from here from California. Liz, this is an induction ceremony. It's not an indictment. She's been told I'm from California. I don't know, we're going to Warren for something. He's getting indicted for something. I'd like to share just a brief story. I know we've had a number of speakers, great comments. I could steal comments from all of them. But there's an experience that I had that really kind of shaped me. Maybe it's the most recurring experience in my sporting career. And it goes back almost 47 years. It really taught me about persistence and taught me about really having gratitude for coaches. It was nearly 47 years ago, September 1975. I was a snot-nosed 15-year-old sophomore. My very first varsity football game. And we were playing Bradford Owls in Bradford, under the lights. Back in those days, there were no lights in Warren. It was a big deal to win that game. And I was nervous as all get out. One of those, you hope for that day, and when it gets there, you don't want to get in the game. So we're up in Bradford, and scared to death. And I was doing the punting and the kicking off. And truth be told, I had no business doing either one. But Coach Shea, Joe Wozniak, was so good that Coach Shea wanted to give him at least a play or two to rest during the game. So I got to do the punting and kicking. So it's our first kickoff, my first game. Again, 15-year-olds, 47 years ago. And get up there, I'm going to kick it out of the end zone. And if you remember the old Peanuts cartoon where Lucy pulls the ball, I go up and I almost miss the ball completely. It sputters around, goes barely 10 yards, and 2010 inductee, may he rest in peace, Dean Johnson, covers the football. A successful onside kick. I am, horrified, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say. And as I walk back, I go back to the sideline, Coach Shea looked at me, and a little bit of kind of, what the heck are you doing? And, I'm 15 years old, and I thought about saying, well, I did that deliberately. But he didn't buy it. So I'm nervous, so I'm going to make up for it next time. So I'm also doing the punt. A little bit later in the game, it's my first punt. And I can't say I went out there and I'm going to make up for it. The ball never got 5 feet off the ground. And either Coach Shea or Coach Mullen, it just went immediately to the side. It was one of the, maybe not the worst punt, probably one of the top 10. So that time coming off the field, Coach Shea was probably a little less enthused with my so far. And you could tell it, and it was more of a little directed, what are they doing? So we go into the second half, and I'm kicking off again at some point in time. And the exact same thing. I barely hit the ball. It goes 10 yards. Dean Johnson recovers again. So I have to say that it's arguably the only time in Northern Dragon history where we've ever had 2 successful onside kicks. And ironically, neither one were intentional. So we go through the game, and I'm just praying to God, I hope I don't get back in the game. And after that punt, when I came off the field, Coach Shea was livid and told me, I'm a sophomore, stand right next to him. Do not go anywhere. Stay next to him. I don't know what I was going to do. I'm scared to death. And again, praying I don't get back in the game. But Donnie Moore is our quarterback. It's third down, and I'm praying, please, get us a first down. We won the game. But sadly, we didn't get first down. So I got to go back in the game. And those that know Mr. Shea was giving me some specific instruction. And he did that with his hand on my face mask. And he's about this far away, and he's telling me what to do. And whenever he did that, he always had a propensity to waiting until the last minute to send you back in the game. And you were really close to getting a delay of the game. So at the last minute, he sends me back in. And of course, in those days, there was no such thing as wireless technology. So there's all these wires all over the field. I'm scared to death. I'm trying to get back in. And I get tangled up in the wires. I'm trying to not get a delayed game. And if you've ever seen or been deep sea fishing, and when they hook the giant marlin, I get caught up into the wires. And it's Coach Mullen's headset. And he gets yanked down the field and charges like 10 yards. And that was the last thing that I remember. I have no idea how the punt went. I went out into the game. I remember whatever I did, running back off the field, and I knew it was going to be okay because Coach Shea had a smile on his face. Now, it wasn't because I had some great kick. They were still laughing about what happened to Coach Mullen. And I can assure you that on Monday, during the film session, it was the most replayed play. It went over and over, and again, it wasn't because of a good kick, it was because of what happened to Coach Mullen. Well, you know, what I learned from there is that coaches didn't give up on us. And, you know, I've heard all these comments about growing up in the all those types of things. And it really, boy, did they have every, you know, chance. All the boneheaded stuff that I did that game, my very first game, they could have given up on us, and they didn't. And it really set the tone. I still remember it 47 years later to this day. Finally, I'd like to say that, you know, back when I played, we're like a family. Like this was the mid-70s, late 70s. Our parents, I've heard this so many times in a number of the comments, parents, teammates, our coaches, teammates, parents, the fans, with one kind of sports boosters at the time, were just fantastic. It was like a family. I don't know if it's like that today. I certainly hope that it is. In my day, it wasn't just football. It was baseball, basketball, and everything. It was like that. So very much on behalf of that family, I very happily, humbly accept this award. So thank you very much.